arguing back and forth, and, you know, I don't know, you get what you get, by the police thinking is this a decent kid, or maybe not so decent kid? And also what kind of relationship the lawyer has with the prosecutor. I know, I mean, I really know, because I had a son incarcerated, and so my lawyer, or my son's lawyer, got the sentence changed from mandatory, it was some mandatory 40 or 60, I don't know, 60, 40%. If you had a serious crime where you had to serve that much time, he got it changed. So my son got a longer sentence, but he was eligible for parole, much shorter. And then, so he got 7 years. And then I walked into the room, and the lawyer had never seen me, and I was 60. My son was 18. And the lawyer dropped it right away to 6 years, which I'm assuming is because I was so old. I mean, old to be the mother of an 18-year-old. So, I mean, it's...
So that's a really good example.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Prosecutors have huge discretion about whether to throw the book at you or just, I'm not going to prosecute at all. I mean, that's absolutely fine for them to do, other than, you know, talking to their supervisor and like numbers that they have to get. But they have absolute discretion. So what happens is a lot of times people are going into these plea bargains. Do people know how many criminal trials end in plea bargains and not with a trial?
80%.
90 to 95%. So that's very important to understand that I don't think people know, is that people are not seeing a jury of their peers. People are not seeing a judge. What they are doing is they are basically trying to negotiate how much time they're going to do. And again, that a lot of times comes down to resources. You know, can you pay for a good lawyer? Do you happen to be in a vicinity that has a good public defender's office that isn't completely overworked? Philadelphia has one of the best defender associations, but they're still horribly overworked. So what happens is, we also know that juries, judges are more likely to believe a police officer's testimony than someone who is charged and, you know, walking in handcuffs. So a lot of times with trials, with plea negotiations, it's just going to be the officer's word versus the person who's being charged. There may be some family members, some witnesses. But a lot of times the defense lawyer is saying, listen, if you go to trial, the judge is going to believe, or the jury is going to believe the police officers that are testifying. Doesn't matter whether or not you did it, you're going to be convicted. And the mandatory is, let's say, 10 years. So you are going to get 10 years if you go to trial. You need to take a plea deal. You can get 2 years. Now, I know you didn't do it. Let me see if I can just get probation. So let me see if I can talk to the prosecutor. I know him. And you'll get a 2-year conviction, but you won't have to spend any time in jail. Or a lot of times, people have already sat in jail for months and months because they can't pay bail. So what they say is, let me see if I can get you time served. So that means you are sentenced to 9 months, but you just spent 9 months waiting for trial, so you can go home to your family tomorrow if you plead guilty. Okay, so you see all these sort of incentives for people to plead guilty, whether or not they did it. So 90 to 95% of people are doing plea deals to get their criminal trial finished. Right.
This might be just something